Hello, Sretan Petak. Happy Friday. I am Sarah of Expat in Croatia, and welcome to 5 Question Friday. Every Friday at 5 o'clock Croatia time, I answer 5 questions from people who have sent them in on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, expatinCroatia.com, consulting, and email, and I don't know, people who write them in that like condensation that forms in a shower. Although, why would anyone be in my shower? That would be pretty creepy. Okay, anyways, I have got 5 great questions to you. Actually, some pretty loaded questions today, so I'm pretty excited. I am on Marion Hill in Split. If you have never been to Split and you don't know what Marion Hill is, right next to the city center, there are these 2 sort of giant hills smashed together. I don't know. I feel like they're bigger than a hill, but you couldn't call them a mountain. Anyways, it's all forested with pine trees, and there's hiking trails all over it, and it's surrounded by sea. It's on a peninsula. It's really beautiful, and I really just wanted to get out of the house. I've been in the house all day, and I worked till midnight working on the new website launch, and then I was all day in my office working on it, and I was like, I need some fresh air. I need to smell the pine in my nostrils. I need to be in nature. And so that's where I am. And the mosquitoes are losing their minds because I am cracked for mosquitoes. Now I have about 13 layers of off on me, but that doesn't matter because they are just like dive bombing me left and right. They don't give a crap that it's the death of them. As long as they can get a taste of my sweet, sweet blood. So let me give you an update on this week. We launched our new website today. Oh my God, I'm so excited about it. It looks so beautiful. If you have not been to expatinCroatia.com today, go take a look because it's amazing. I just couldn't stop staring at it. It's been a labor of love for more than a year. I've been trying to figure out how to change the website into something different, more effective, prettier, I don't know, all the above, easier for you guys to navigate. So I think we managed to accomplish that. We'd love to hear what you think. So if you have any thoughts, feel free to send them over to us, no matter what it is. We'd really love to hear it. Also today, Cam is our new consultant as of today. So you can now book a consulting session with her on the website, which is super, super amazing. We're all very excited for her. In fact, she got her first request this morning and it was like, yay! We were all so happy for her. So I can't wait for you guys to start meeting with her. I ran into a super fan last night here in Split. I was in Caldazonia with a couple of friends, and in came this gentleman named Logan, who happens to be from Dallas, Texas. He's a diaspora. His heritage is from Brach, but it was so cool to say hi to him and chat with him and learn about him and what he's doing here and how Expat in Croatia has helped him. He actually was telling me how much he missed the old series, A Texan Says Croatian Words. Which, if you are newish to Expat in Croatia, you may have missed that era. But I did 43 episodes of A Texan Says Croatian Words, and then I was like, I cannot do this anymore. So maybe in the future I will do a few one-off episodes of that. But right now it's just got to sleep with the fishes, you know what I mean? All right, what else do I want to tell you? Oh yeah, so next Saturday, not like tomorrow Saturday, but like September 9th Saturday, I am going to be on a panel called the International Site of Split at the Split Tech City Festival. So if you would like to come and check that out, it won't just be my panel, it'll also be a bunch of other panels and speakers, and be super cool. We have a discount code that we can give you so you can get your ticket at a lower cost than everybody else. So if you would like that, just send us a DM and we can give you that discount code. I hope to see you there. I'm really, really super excited about it. A big friend of Expat in Croatia, Michael Freer, is going to be the moderator, and he's a professional moderator. I've never been on one of his panels before, so I'm pretty excited to be on one of his panels. And then also Jeff, who owns a Fig restaurant on Har in Split, is going to be on it. And then a couple of other people from Split. So should be pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive into the questions now. So let's start with Linda. She asked me this on a consulting session a few weeks back. If we don't want the furniture in a property that we buy, can we force the seller to take it away? You can't force them to do anything, but you can try and negotiate with them as part of the purchase agreement. And if you come to a deal, your lawyer will put in the purchase agreement, and then they're obligated to meet the terms that you have previously decided on. If you're not able, if they don't agree to that and they're like, no, we're leaving it behind, then you can always hire someone to come and take it all out. So actually on a 5-Question Friday, maybe 2 episodes ago, it might have been 107, we talked about this company called Reto Center. They are a faith-based organization, nonprofit, and they hire people who are recovering from addiction or have recovered from addiction. So it's a great organization to put people to work, give people jobs, and they will come and take everything out of your house and then they resell it or refurbish it or whatever. So that's also a really great option. If you missed that episode, if you'd like a link to that company, feel free to send it to us. But I think the thing I want to make clear is when you buy a property, you tend to inherit the furniture. That's a thing that happens. When I bought my apartment, all of the furniture got left. Not just all of the furniture. Okay, so in a lot of the Yugoslav-built buildings, the apartments come with their own little storage area called a shupa. I love that word, shupa. So she shows me the shupa to give me the key and where it is, and opens it, and there's like 30 years of garbage in there. Just floor to ceiling, wall to wall, and then she's just like, oh, my hip, I can't take care of it. I'm like, are you effing kidding me with this? So I just paid the construction crew who took down some walls for me to take it out and dispose of it, because I didn't want any of that, and I didn't want to go through it. So I understand the frustration of not wanting to deal with that, but sometimes you just gotta. Path of least resistance. Okay, so we have a few relevant guides to this topic that we can of course send you if you would like. We've got a guide on how to buy real estate. We've got a guide on the costs associated with buying real estate. We've got an entire real estate section. We can just send you a link to that so you can just kind of browse at your leisure. And also, if you're planning on buying a property, you absolutely must have a lawyer who's going to advocate for you, because this industry is super sticky. It's super easy to be taken advantage of. And if you're going through a real estate agency, their lawyers are not going to look after your interests. They only care about the agency. And then after that, they care about the buyer. They do not care about you. So if you want someone who's going to care about you, send us a DM. We'd be more than happy to make a recommendation for a vetted property lawyer. Oh my gosh, they're just like all over me. I'm full of great decisions today. Okay, next this comes from Haley on our 5-Question Friday forum. What are the important differences, pros, cons between a standard work permit and the EU Blue Card for a non-EU citizen? What are their processing times and do they differ? This is a great question. I actually was talking about this topic on a consulting session yesterday. So Croatia has 2 types of work permits for non-EU citizens. There is a standard work and residence permit, and then there's an EU Blue Card. So before I go into the differences, it's important to note that you must have a job offer before you can apply for one of these permits. Okay, so the standard work permit, I'm going to go through its characteristics and its challenges, and then I'm going to go over the EU Blue Card. The permit is for 1 year. It is the company's responsibility to apply on your behalf. You cannot bring your family for the first year. Your spouse cannot work. The company has to request permission from HZZ, which is the unemployment agency, before the application goes to MUP. So essentially you have to prove, or the company has to prove, that there's not a Croatian that's qualified to do that role. We can actually help you with that. If you're a business owner out there and you want to hire third country nationals, we've been through that process multiple times ourselves for Expat in Croatia. We've also helped clients go through that process. However, due to labor shortages, there are some roles that are exempt from the labor market test. So we have a full list of what those exempt roles are in our guide. There are also some rules for the company. They have to have at least 25% of the staff as European Union or Croatian, and they must have at least 1 Croatian or EU citizen who's been employed on an indefinite contract for at least 6 months. Okay, so that's the standard work and residence permit. So next is the EU Blue Card. This permit is for up to 2 years. You can get 2 years if the company does a contract for you for 2 years. Either you or the company can apply for that permit. It's not the obligation of the company. You can bring your family from the very beginning. You are required to have some kind of certification or diploma that matches the job you've been hired for. The labor market test is not required, and the company does not have to meet any of the staffing requirements that I mentioned earlier. And you must earn 1.5 times the average salary for the previous year. I have to stop and say, my godfather just joined. Hi, Jim. Hi, godfather. Check out the hat. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. All right. So processing times are the same for both types of permits. And the labor market test can delay the process for about 3 weeks. So we have guides on the work permit, the EU Blue Card, the labor market test, and we also have a jobs guide in case you're looking for a job here in Croatia. So if you'd like any of those, send us a DM and we'd be more than happy to send it over to you. Okay. So next, this comes from AvB15 here on Instagram. What is the difference between a solemnized and a standard notarized rental contract? If the landlord insists on a solemnized contract, are they responsible for the fees associated, for example, a court interpreter? This is a great question. We've never gotten this before, so I'm super excited to go over it with you. Okay, so notarization, like standard notarization, is merely a verification of the signatures on the document, okay? Solemnized, which is how you would call it in Croatian, addresses the substance of a contract, okay? So through this process, the notary guarantees the content and all the essential elements of the contract. So solemnized includes reading the contract out loud in front of the contract parties and the notary. Each party agrees that everything in the contract is valid and binding. Each party agrees and understands the consequences of the contract terms. Each party agrees that they have free will to sign the contract. Each party signs the contract in front of the notary along with their provided identification. And solemnized is required for very few contracts. It is a more expensive notarization because it takes longer and the notary's responsibility is larger. This process can also be done by the court instead of a notary at a cheaper cost, but the wait time is much longer. Now, solemnized is required for lifelong support contracts. It's also required for home loan contracts. So when I got my home loan to buy my apartment in 2021, I had to sit at the notary public for like 2 hours while this giant document that basically said, this is all the ways that Ersta can ruin your life if you don't pay for your loan. It was a super fun day. So as far as who pays the fees, there is no rule. It's really up to what you work out with your landlord. If it's a home loan contract, it's your responsibility to pay that. Now, you also have to understand that if you're not fluent in Croatian, you will have to hire a court interpreter for that, and that is an additional cost. So we have a few guides that pertain to this topic. We have a guide on how to prepare a legally binding contract in Croatia, as well as how to get something notarized. And if you need to have a lawyer to advise you on this, of course, we can help you with that as well. Okay, so next, this comes from Lenka on our 5-question Friday form. Do all banks charge a service fee to withdraw money in person at the bank from your Croatian bank account? Consider the account holder a Croatian citizen. One bank charges 1.5% of withdrawal amount. Is this standard across all banks? Absolutely not. I want to know which bank this is that is charging her to get money out of her own bank. That is insane to me. If you're going to your own bank or an ATM that's owned by your bank, it should be free to take out your own money. So, Lenka, if you're out there, which bank is this? So that we can tell everyone to avoid it. Now, if you are going to a bank ATM or a bank to get out money from a different kind of bank, then yes, they're definitely going to charge you, for sure. If you have a company bank account here and you want to loan money as the owner to the company and you want to do that in cash at the bank, they do charge you a percentage to do that. It's messed up. I learned that the hard way. So thank you so much for that question. Alrighty, where are we at now? I think this might be our last question. Yes, actually, I have a special 6 question today. Surprise. This is the 5th question though. This comes from Rade on our 5-question Friday form. Is there a possibility to obtain a building loan to improve a property in Croatia? We have excellent credit score, but our jobs are in the U.S. and we get paid to a U.S. bank. First, your credit score from another country means diddly squat here. Like nishta, nothing, no one cares. So that's important to understand. Second, they're very strict on loans these days. If you are a non-EU citizen, you must have permanent residence and a Croatian salary deposited into a Croatian bank to even be considered, okay? Now, if you're a Croatian or an EU citizen, they also want you to have a Croatian salary. Now, there's a bank called Vusenrot. I believe they're Austrian. They are connected to Erste, and they've kind of gone back and forth on this. Like, they will only consider Croatian citizens, but they have been known to consider loans for Croatian citizens that only have foreign income. So you could contact them if you're a Croatian citizen. I will say that from time to time they do have grants for improving properties. Usually they're historical properties like old stone homes. So that's something that you can check into EU funds or Croatian state funds to see if they have a program like that. We have a couple of guides that would be relevant. We have a bank comparison of the 7 largest Croatian banks so that you can compare those. And then we also have a guide where we called 15 different banks to see what who they would consider for home loans. So if you'd like either of those, send us a DM. So this little bonus 6 question that is a real question that I got from Clive and Therese on a consulting session that I had a couple of weeks ago. They asked me, do you live in Croatia? Yeah, I do. 11 years and I still get this question. Yeah, I do live in Croatia. That's Croatia right there. And that's Croatia right there too. And so are these trees. They're in Croatia as well. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here and watching me be eaten alive by mosquitoes on Marianne Hill. I love having you here every Friday. And like I said, I'm so excited about our new website. Please go take a look at it. It's really pretty. It's really, really pretty. I love pretty websites. I'm so excited about it. I really, truly am. Next week, just to kind of share with you what I will be doing, I'm going on 2 day sales next week. Day sales are the best part of summer. And I'm really sad that summer is coming to a close because that means no more day sales. But I'm going to one on Wednesday and I'm going to one on Friday. And the one I'm going to on Friday is through people I met through Expat in Croatia who decided to come to Croatia because of Expat in Croatia. So I'm thrilled to be able to see them and hang out with them on a boat. So follow our stories and you'll be able to see what I see. That's it, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for being here. Vidimo se. Ciao. Bye. Bye. Bye.